Dad, you left this on the eye of the stove. It could have exploded.
Oh, thanks, Lucy. I didn't think about this could explode. Lucy's playing with Carissa. Let me show you guys that. Hey, Lucy, I think I'll go make, I think I'll go make some ice cream floats.
Okay.
Listen, I'm going to go ahead and fix you an ice cream float now. I'll get one for Ethan too, these little cups for our floats. Now I'll just get the ice cream. We're going to need a bigger float. Well, I'm going to clean this kitchen now. I don't like cleaning the kitchen ever since my friend Greg Nicholson, a dentist in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, got cut in half in a freak dishwasher accident.
When the dishwasher comes at you, doesn't seem to be living until he bites you and those black eyes roll over white, and then then you hear that terrible high-pitched screaming. But at least we live at the Cascade. Muskrat Susie, Muskrat Sam, doing a jitterbug down in Muskrat Land.
Ugh, such a painful memory. And yes, I know his kitchen's fancier than ours. Don't worry, we'll get back to our story. But first, let me give you 3 accounts of free will. First, there's libertarianism. Libertarianism says a person could have done otherwise than he or she actually did, even if all brain states were held constant, kept the same. Even if your brain is physically set for skipping class, you can, in an act of free will, override those settings and go to class or log into class anyway. Compatibilism, also called soft determinism, says if brain states were held constant, you could not have done differently than what you actually did. However, we are going to count you as free because free means doing what your own strongest internal impulse causes you to do. If your brain state causes you to skip class, we'll count skipping as free because nothing outside of your brain caused you to skip. And finally, hard determinism. If your brain states were held constant, you couldn't have done differently than what you actually did. Since freedom means could have done otherwise under constant conditions, free will is an illusion. So when you skip class, it is something your brain forces you to do, as unfree as a tree falling when struck by lightning. Let's start with agency theory or libertarianism. Now, this is not political libertarianism. It's something completely different from that. Libertarianism says that you could have done otherwise, even if all conditions, how you were raised, what you ate, how you sleep, and so on, are left unchanged. You are able to freely change the way you are and the type of person you are. For example, one that Sartre uses, an atheist converts to Christianity, or vice versa. Here's libertarianism, what I like to call the soul version. Brody's go-to-class neurons are still firing in this picture. This would cause Brody to go to class, but his non-physical soul is overriding his brain. Thus, he is staying home and playing video games despite the firing of the neurons. Soul libertarianism says that an agent has free will, can do otherwise, because one's non-physical soul can override one's strongest impulse or desire, the two neurons that are firing in this example. Now, if you think libertarianism sounds a little fishy, maybe you'd like what's called compatibilism or soft determinism better. David Hume is a compatibilist, also called soft determinist. Compatibilism says that you could not do differently than you actually do because you are fully caused. Still, we can call you free when you do what your own internal impulses, say your brain states, cause you to do. Just as a balloon is free when the person lets go of it, but it's still caused, you are free when you do what your strongest impulses cause you to do. Compatibilism, once again. Brody is going to class because his strongest impulse, the go-to-class fibers firing in his brain, cause him to go. But compatibilism claims free means not that you could do otherwise, but only that you are doing what your brain causes you to do. Since Brody is doing what his brain makes him do, we call him free, even though he's fully caused and couldn't do otherwise. Compatibilism or soft determinism equals hard determinism plus a new definition of freedom. To be unfree, according to compatibilism, is to do something you do not desire. Notice in this picture that Brody's go-to-class neurons are not firing. Well, a better way to put this would be that it's to do something that you're forced to do not by your own brain, but by some external force. In this picture, the teacher has put you in a burlap bag and is forcing you to go to class. It's not your brain that's forcing you to go. It's being dragged there in a burlap bag. And that brings us to hard determinism. See Bro to go to class. He's going to class because his strongest impulse causes him to go to class. This impulse is embodied in the two go-to-class neurons firing in his brain. Hard determinism claims he is not free since he could not do otherwise than attend class. He could not stay home and sleep, for example, given that those two neurons are firing in his brain and he can't stop them from firing. Tell you what, let me show you the three main views on human free will and how it would connect with me eating this Whitey's mint chocolate chip ice cream. Oh my gosh, I really do not want to eat this ice cream because I'm more concerned about gaining even more weight. And I'm not going to eat the ice cream. I'm going to put it away and walk away. Bye, Felicia. Worried about his health due to a seriously bad doctor's report, Chris has the don't eat the ice cream brain state as his strongest impulse. Seeing the Whitey's box does tempt him, arouses the eat ice cream impulse in him. But, according to compatibilism, he cannot actually choose to eat the ice cream so long as the don't eat the ice cream impulse remains his strongest impulse. But if Chris could not do otherwise so long as he is in that brain state, why does compatibilism say he is free? Answer: because compatibilism defines free not as being able to do otherwise even if the brain state remains constant, but as being caused by your own brain to do what you do. If someone hid the ice cream from him, and believe me, the kids have tried that one on me, then that would not be a free choice because something external to him forces him not to eat the ice cream. But if his own fear or worry causes him not to eat it, we still call it free, if we're compatibilists. Because, again, for compatibilists, being free means just doing what your strongest impulse causes you to do, and you could not do otherwise, but yet we're still going to use the word free to refer to it. Oh boy, I really don't want to eat this ice cream because I'm trying to lose weight, but I have an even stronger impulse to eat the ice cream. But I'm not going to eat the ice cream. I'm going to override my strongest impulse and not eat this ice cream, even though my brain is set right now for me to be eating the ice cream. Libertarianism, or agency theory, says you can freely choose to do differently than what your brain states have programmed you to do. In this scenario, Chris's brain is programmed for him to eat the ice cream, but he overrides it through his power of free will. So free will is almost like a supernatural power. It allows you to do things that go against physical cause and effect. So in a sense, you have a supernatural ability to violate the law of cause and effect. Hard determinism is really the same thing as compatibilism, except hard determinism does not redefine what the word free means. According to hard determinism, your strongest impulse makes you do what you do. You have no free will, and no need to call being caused by your own brain free, since what free really means is that you could have done otherwise. It's the libertarians' definition of freedom. You are no more free than the 8-ball knocked into the corner pocket on the pool table. It could not have done otherwise. It has no choice. In the same way, you could not have done otherwise but to do what that strongest impulse causes you to do. You know what? My strongest impulse is to eat this ice cream, and that's what I'm going to do. I don't have a choice. I have to follow my strongest impulse. And it's so good. Oh no, I can't eat a second bowl. No, I can't do it.
Dad, you left this on the ice stove. It could have exploded.
Smile, you son of a... You know, I used to hate the kitchen. Now I can't imagine why.
Well, it proves one thing, Professor McCord. It proves that you wealthy college boys don't have the education enough to admit when you're wrong.